Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be going over my thoughts on the Volvo V60 cross country. So we're going to get into the things that I like about it and the things that I don't like about it, and I guess the top 5 things with both. But anyways, before getting this video, as always, if you can save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get right into it. So the first thing that I like is the looks. Now I understand that not everyone is a fan of the station wagon look, especially the lifted station wagon look, but I think it's pretty cool. I mean, this thing, especially from like the side, it just works. And I think this is one of the examples of Volvo styling just really working. I think that their styling looks better on their larger cars rather than their smaller cars, and this is big enough where it just looks good. Now, the first thing that I don't exactly like is the power. So this is the B5 package, and so it's got a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder, and it's like mid 200s with the horsepower and torque, which is okay. But I mean, for a car that's over $50,000 from a luxury brand, it does feel kind of slow. So I do think that a little bit more power, like closer to the 300 horsepower range at least, would benefit this car quite a bit. The number 2 thing that I like is the interior. And this is where Volvo does a really good job with their cars. You guys can see really cool looking seats, and they're also very comfortable as well. And you know, I think overall just like different design elements within the interior just look really nice. Fit and finish is also fantastic, and so that's one of the high points with just pretty much every Volvo, is that it's just a very like high quality feeling interior. The number 2 thing that I don't exactly like is the size. Now when it comes to styling proportions, I think this thing looks pretty good, but when it comes to actual like practicality, it's not necessarily the best. So first off, with the back seats, you can fit adults back there, but I mean, I'd rather have bigger space in the back. And then also with the trunk area, again, it's decent with the cargo capacity. So again, I think like smaller family, or if like you don't have kids, this is great. But yeah, if you need to take quite a few people around, it's not necessarily the biggest. I would rather just have like slightly more size, so like probably the V90. Now the number 3 thing that I like is actually the low end power. So I know that I said that I don't exactly like the power with this vehicle, and that is true. However, with Volvo's new mild hybrid systems, it's actually pretty solid on the low end. So like when you're just going around town 20 to 40 miles an hour, this thing feels good. It's just when you're above that 40 mile an hour mark where this thing starts to feel like it's not exactly the fastest. So on the low end, it's pretty fantastic. The number 3 thing that I don't exactly like is the ride quality. So for what this is, it actually rides pretty well. With that being said though, compared to some other Volvos, not necessarily the best. And I mean, part of that's because, well, shorter wheelbase. And then the other thing is, I just don't get why luxury car automakers are so obsessed with large wheels. This has 20-inch wheels. And again, this is supposed to be like a lifted station wagon. So I think that instead of having such big wheels, they could do like 18-inch wheels, a little bit more sidewall at the tire. That would help out. The suspension's pretty good, but like when you go over bumps and everything, it's not necessarily the most comfortable. So yeah. Number 4 is powertrain options. Now this is something that I just like about Volvos in general, and that's the fact that you have several powertrain options like mild hybrids and then plug-in hybrids and all that kind of stuff. And then also the fact that you have like, you know, this, or you can get the regular station wagon version. This is like the lifted one. So I don't know, I just think it's cool that you have options with this rather than just like a one size fits all type deal, which some automakers will basically make you go for. They'll be like, oh, you either get, you know, the, I don't know, performance version, or you don't. So it's cool that you have options with this. Now the number 4 thing that I don't exactly like is reliability. Now it's no secret that Volvo has had some reliability things over the last little bit, and well, this is a Volvo, so no different. And I can tell you, over the week of me testing this, I've had some issues with some of these safety systems where they just stop working. Now that does happen with pretty much every single car when sensors get covered by snow, but this has literally told me that it's had like complete malfunctions where it's like, yep, no, you need to take it into the dealer, and it's like, okay, this is basically a brand new car, so why is that happening? Now, number 5 that I like is the fact that this is good in snow. Oh, it looks like the annoying cat has joined us. Hello there. But anyways, this thing is actually really good in snow. So I'm just on all seasons, and let me tell you, like the all-wheel drive system and everything with this is just, it's great. Like it handles the snow really, really well. You've got good control, and so that's something that is really good. And I'm actually pretty surprised because I took an XC90 off-road when it wasn't snowing, obviously, and it actually struggled quite a bit in loose terrain. So I thought that, oh, Volvos probably aren't going to be good in snow because they're not good off-road, but it's not the case. They're actually really good in snow. And then the 5th and final thing that I don't exactly like is the pricing. So So this isn't insane with the price, over $50,000, which, I mean, in today's world, actually, it's crazy to say that's reasonable, but it means pretty reasonable, especially for a luxury car. However, I do think that this should have a little bit more for that price. So a little bit more ride comfort, like I said earlier, with a point, and then also just a little bit more power. And then I think that the price and the packaging would kind of meet a little bit more. That's going to sum things up for a video on the things that I like and don't exactly like about the V60 Cross Country. And I guess that my final thoughts before we fully close things off. Overall, I think it's a really good vehicle, and I think that station wagons are pretty underrated because, you know, everyone wants, you know, trucks and SUVs. And here's the deal. This has more than enough ground clearance for what most people need. Like, most people aren't going to go off-roading. And so the thing that's really cool about this is you have more clearance than like a sedan or something. So you're not like constantly scraping your front end, especially in the snow. But then you don't have so much clearance to where the handling is garbage. Like, this still handles really well because it's low enough to the ground. So it's definitely, I would say, like a sweet spot for like daily driving, and then also having good enough handling. And I'm not talking about like handling in the sense of like you do performance driving with it. It's more like you go around a corner and you don't have to slow down to like 10 miles an hour because you have so much weight and so much body roll. So yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty good car. There are some things that could be improved. And, you know, with Volvo adopting so much new technology, the reliability right now, slightly questionable, but I'm sure that they will figure things out and it will improve in the future. But with that being said, I'll see ya.